Gregory is based out of Munich, Germany. He helps companies arrange effective collaboration on projects. He has a degree in engineering and applied mathematics. And he's done DOS and Windows programming, web development, application support. He has been a CIO and consulting and mastery of other roles. So he's been around this area and arena for a long time. And when he's not working, he enjoys cycling, inline skating, cooking, and playing percussion. So with that, Gregory, let's go ahead. I'll turn the controls over to you.
Okay, hello. I would like to tell you, thank you for coming, that you find time to see my presentation. I would like to tell you about using JIRA for business and how JIRA can be used for different, to help business in team collaboration, to implement some basics of project management, and to use time tracking, and much, much more. Overview. First of all, I would like to tell you about one story about my implementation of JIRA as a time tracking tool. So initially it was a time tracking, and then I will overview of the project collaboration solution, our product that I have got in result. I also show you a prototype of project-oriented professional network. And I show how it's possible to use JIRA for common business processes, and explain some ideas about using JIRA for enterprise application integration. So, a story of one implementation. It was the client is BPS, Bavaria Property Services. It is a facility management company located in Munich and partially in Russia, and they manage a class office plaza in Moscow. And in 1 year ago, and now the situation was 20 people. They need to manage more than 200 projects in various areas. The projects were missed, various priority, various sizes, and teams. They were basically resources of each other. So, and it was a very spaghetti, very complicated matrix structure, and communication tools are known: email, remote video conferences, regular meetings, and exchange of files and emails using shared drives. So, situation is common. I think you know what is it. Well, and problems are no idea who does what, when, why, and for whom. No visibility on project names, customers, roles, goals, teams, deadlines. Important documents are somewhere in emails, and it's rarely many times spent on status reporting and finding some communication that was done a few months ago. And how long? Business owners want to see how much time who spent on what project, and they want to calculate costs of each project and charge other clients according to time tracking. The company also faces cultural differences problem, which is mainly in project planning. Germans are very like plan book oriented. They like to plan everything before they start, and they like rules. Russian are more agile. Let's start and see what happens, and they hate any formalities and frames. So it also affects implementation. And a team is split between two remote offices, Munich and Moscow. So why JIRA? Why we choose JIRA? First of all, it is a proven tool for task management at a market leader, really. De facto is a standard for bug issue task tracker, and whatever issue tracker we can see on the market, it all try to compare them with JIRA. We do it better than JIRA, we do that better than JIRA, but JIRA is a standard to compare. And Atlassian uses JIRA in its own development, and for development JIRA itself, it just shows the quality of the product. And And I also experienced JIRA. As IT engineer, I of course worked with JIRA and with many other applications and programs, and I found JIRA very useful in very hot situations and can really help to manage tasks. There are some other pluses: attractive system configuration, modern interface, platform are good. Also independent, good integration possibilities with modern systems, a large field of third-party developers and consultants, and JIRA is probably one of the first, probably the first software that has open, commercial software that has open bug tracker, and this bug tracker is also JIRA. And vendor has a strong and rising positions on IT market. And at the beginning, a year ago, it was my feeling that JIRA may help to arrange common workflows. And the trend, if you go to Google Insight and ask Atlassian JIRA how much time people ask JIRA in search, we see the rising trend, and the most company are in the richest markets all over the world. So Australia, Germany, United States, United Kingdom, and France. So that means the product has a very strong position and very strategically very profitable. And just because we know that JIRA is good, so we need to share it with not only for IT. We need to use it with other people whom it can help. So, well, implementation itself starts and was in 4 steps. The first step was done by the February 2010, when JIRA was implemented as a help desk tool. It was few support engineers, system administrators, and it really took 2 weeks to implement JIRA as for help desk, just for tracking user requests and tracker just IT tasks and projects. So then in March, our first user group of 3 junior managers tested time tracking functionality with plugin or third-party program, Worklog assistant that is good for time tracking with JIRA, and it works exactly with JIRA. I'll show the screenshot later. And then at the end of the summer, second user group of 3 more top managers. It was probably the key solution that top managers took part in the first stage, because the system took its shapes, was configured, and most use cases were revealed and developed. And then at November, the third user group of 15 people, line managers and specialists. It's basically the system was development, and the problem was training. So how we train 15 people to use the system uniformly. And we met during the implementation. With the implementation team faced challenges. So vendor configuration suits solely to IT development process. So if you just download JIRA and install it, business users cannot understand what happens, and some translation was required, and it was a key moment. So if you see, issue now became a project, and project became a department. This change was done just in some JIRA configuration files. So, and some other translation was done. Assignee was changed to responsible, reporter was changed to customer, and watchers were changed to stakeholders. And business start to understand JIRA. Challenge 2. it was a fear of time tracking, because time tracking it is an option in the system, but it was a main request for business owners, and people have fear of time tracking and fear of abuse and so on. And one of the solution I've made a few seminars or 1 hour lections about time tracking, and one of the solutions was that all timesheets are visible to all team, and so everybody can see how much time logged another person from all the team, including managers and executives. And so challenge 3, so business users are not so smart in mastering tools as IT. It was a surprise for me, because initially I thought that I just install the system and the user can understand how to use basic use cases. No. So we need to create a training. So basically, most of all was done by me, and the testers, the client was the client contributed with advices and with with the results of testing and feedback correctly. So it consisted of series of 7-10 lessons. The user can do on his own or her own desk without any classroom and so on. So just when he has time, 20 minutes in 2 days, he can do a lesson without any problem. So, and practical exercises, it's important for training. They are done in JIRA itself. They look in JIRA and may be easily controlled. And final survey rather than exams, so just a feedback of user feeling and how they, what do they think about the system, and it works. Probably something could be improved and so on. So, and in result, we have the system now. System is working. It's implemented. Users and managers are happy, and they share their experience. So basically, the words like a huge relief and more fun, works bring more fun are quite important. And what I underlined is just some hotspots. So we resolved the problem that we met at the beginning at 1 year ago. And JIRA now brings profit to collaboration. And the company, the client, plans to set up more users for its partner, construction partner, who the construction partner runs basically building and constructor projects. So, and let's see how the system looks like. So, first of all, project charter is a JIRA issue. So simple. So it has number, key, name. We can define goals, goals, and what is the project about in description. We also can put people together with a responsible customer and a team field, and also stakeholders. It is project roles. Everything at one page, easily to see and find. Then we have a message board like a forum or something like this, where we can put important decisions and results and summaries and data about our project. And when we add comment, it will send to people who are in this list: responsible customer and team and stakeholders. So JIRA can be configurable very precisely for this. And we can also configure security level. We can make so that only these people can have access to this project and nobody else can see it, in order to reduce some extra information or relevant data, for example, and for security reasons. So there could be different reasons, but we can arrange security in this way. So we also can see time tracking, also deadlines of the project, and sub-projects are related to this project. We can attach sub-projects. We can attach any kind of document to the same page, and everything is in one place. So project documents, there's the simplest possible version control system. For business users, it's pretty good because they don't like check-in, check-out, and commit, and they don't understand it. And this simple version control system just can show what is the last document at one glance. And fast way to attach documents. So my Office interface was Russian, so but it means I go in file and file menu and select send as an attachment, and then I see my client, my mail client, and I put the email address of my JIRA and the code of the project to and subject, and send it. And this is attached to an issue. So the second, another good solution was time tracking, because for time tracking it would be nice to use something like a clock, chess watch, the chess clock. So when I start job, I press a button. When I off, I press it off. So, and Worklog Assistant gives this functionality. It looks as though it is a desktop program, and in this program people can switch between tasks using JIRA filters. They can select project using JIRA filters and switch between tasks, and also this information is logged to JIRA in Worklogs, and then shown on JIRA gadgets on dashboards, on user dashboards, in this in different views. And there is also an ad hoc solution that takes directly from MySQL into Excel spreadsheet to pivot analysis, because sometimes it takes too much time to develop some gadgets when the user needs just a specific slice, or any slice he can see. So Excel pivot is the best tool for this. So about 80% people likes to watch mode. The rest have other options, because sometimes it's not possible just to use this if you are not at the computer, and there are some situations when you can just need to log it post factum. So it's also possible. So, and there is a possibility, there is a good feature and practice to log work that you have done. It calls Worklog in JIRA. So when I do something, and when I want to save my current position on this project, on this idea, the state of the task, I just put it in Worklog. So for example, the last chat with my partner, or some quotes, some intermediate decisions, and basically anything that can, everything that may help me, my colleagues who will take over this task later, probably, that can help to get into flow faster. So into you understand what I mean. So Also, the desktop solution for time tracking is the best is at least 2 screens. Primary screen is for main job, and secondary screen, like on this picture, my notebook is a secondary screen, and I use it for Worklog assistant, just to log time. If you have more than 2 monitors, it is better. So, and business intelligence, we can basically get different results using gadgets and dashboards. So in JIRA, so we can see how much time people spent on which projects. So I see one person. Well, he only started to log his time, but so it's not really bad. But another person gives better results. So, and we can see how much time who can spend on what and what project. And we can see also different slices how projects are open by statuses and by responsibles, like tech clouds. You can see who is the most who has most projects, or like a customer, or like a responsible. So in the company, they use name, first letters of name abbreviation to name the person. So, for example, GK, here it's me, and you can also attach an open social gadget on your Jira desktop, for example. So there are a few roles in the system. So department lead, it is in Jira, it is project lead, but it is department lead who can administer the department. He can create new projects and have some rights to do things. There's a project manager responsible for the project, customer, project team member, and C-level supervisors. They have their own roles and access rights. And those access rights are configured through web interface as Jira administrator can configure access rights through web interface. So, and the system looks like this. So how it is integrated in the infrastructure. So basically, Jira itself is on Windows virtual host. Probably not the best solution but for 25 users, it's not too bad. So, and using Tomcat application server and web browser, users can communicate with Jira. Oh, sorry. Database is on another computer. This MySQL database. It is connected with Jira through JDBC, and authorization or enterprise single sign-on is arranged through LDAP with Windows Active Directory. And there is also ad hoc solution for pivot analysis. It uses Apache and PHP to connect to MySQL and to get data into Excel. This is an easy solution rather than use ODBC for Excel. It's difficult. So not usable. So there is people can access Excel also. Some people, not everybody. And now I've got the shape of the product that can be implemented to any other company that have the same problems, the same situation, a lot of projects and spaghetti. So installation is it consists of basically implementation consists of 3 stages: installation, custom design. We can change even look of Jira. User training. Then we train users. There are different levels of training that can be done, and corporate training. So we train your client company to teach the users by their own means, their own resources. So whole cycle can take from 1 to 3 months implementation. And target groups are small and medium business, consulting, tracking project together with clients. I'll show it later. And project departments, service departments of big enterprises, distributed team, they work together on the same projects, or social network project. We can use JIRA even for social network projects. And there's another idea, there is another prototype that can be done. It is hosted by a team lead company. It is Atlassian partner in St. Petersburg, Moscow. And I also used this project to communicate with my clients and to arrange to run projects with them. And there is a reference also that it helps. So, and this project can be arranged as a network project, like a social network. Why not? So people can go here, can communicate with each other on project level, and like in social network, JIRA has profiles and so on. So some customization, and it would be it could be very nice product. The next thing I want to review is what then. So we have this project management system, but what then? So something is not a project really, because there are some things that are repeatable and they are processes, like a common business processes, like contact management or whatever. So then after we have implemented the project tracking, so we get all the tasks of our client together, then we can arrange, then can we split project aside and look into common business processes. And the best way is to probably to find these insiders who can be teach to configure it, to configure JIRA workflows for themselves. And there is also JIRA as BP business process management system. This subject is covered by Atlassian, and Atlassian provides a give it yourself kit, like a conference page, a few examples of relevant old versions. They're not easy to revive them. And here is a letter from Ben Natzfinger, marketing director of Atlassian. The main idea is that Atlassian will follow backtracking and software development line, but as BPMS you can do it yourself, and Atlassian can, in background mode, provide some materials with regard to it. But there are companies that already implement JIRA as for business processes, for some business processes. For example, yesterday I found a company that is around me. It is in Munich, and it is written, what is JIRA? Just a bug tracker? No, what is not? And they have implementations in about 10 components. They implemented various workflows and help desk system, and not only help desk system. And there is another company in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. They optimize business processes using JIRA, and they provide project management, service management, meeting management, trouble ticket management, and execution order execution control for order execution control management using JIRA. And they also have about 5 clients now and a few implementations. Team Litru in St. Petersburg. It is an Atlassian partner, and they provide, except JIRA costing, they provide solution for CRM and for sales funnel using JIRA. And they also use Green Cooper plugin to CRM, Green Cooper system to CRM. And this is an example of the workflows they use. There is contact management. They have implementation for contracts management and help desk, of course. And I believe there are much more companies that have such solutions. And my offer is suggestion is to arrange a bank of common business solutions for JIRA. Some of what is in red we probably already have. It is just a scheme. It could be different, but really we can find this bank of common business solutions can cover and reach probably each client because everybody needs some automation. And I believe there is no other system that could be compete with JIRA in this field. And in this project, Packet.com, I opened ticket for this project, a charter for this project. So you can register by this project Packet.com and you can see you can take part in this project. You are welcome. There are also major JIRA issues that could prevent some very extensive customization. It is basically one is most popular, most awarded issue is JIRA priorities resolutions, and that can limit the management, the number of workloads that we can administrator can really manage. And project import and export. There is a BPMS dream that we can get one ready solution and just using a very easy tool attach it to another system. I don't know any system that allows to do it now, but if JIRA resolve this issue 4052, it would be very cool for BPMS. And the rest subject I would like to cover is can we use JIRA as a platform for enterprise application integration? Well, JIRA could be a facet integration, so is a program that can provide user interface to all other systems, simple user interfaces for each case, and each workflows for such platforms as even SAP or cloud application probably. There is very good connections with MS projects, JIRA and MS project. There are two plugins, the connector and Cephon bridge plugin that can help to plan resources in JIRA and take factual time, factual expenses from JIRA and calculated MS project. There is also plugin for SAP. It basically refers to time tracking as a Tempo plugin, and they connect time tracking functionality of JIRA with SAP in order not to log in in SAP and just track works in JIRA. So, and it is my own experience. So. Yes. And thank you for attention. So you may contact me for these subjects, and just if you want, it is my coordinates. So I would like to hear from you some feedback on my blog and by email, whatever. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Gregory. Let's go ahead and open it up for questions. For the people that are listening in, there's a questions dialog box on the GoToWebinar control panel. Please go ahead and chat in any questions, and I'll go ahead and ask Gregory those questions. But let me go ahead and take the controls back over here in the meantime. One question that came up, there's in that first example, 20 people working on 200 projects and not in the same geographic location. Have you also helped other people bring in Confluence as well for document management?
Yes, I've thought about it, but the company 1 year ago it was too deep in file system and using sending these files and changing the viewpoint to wiki. It's not easy way. It's not easy for this specific client, for this specific company. It's very easy if you speak about IT company. Then they accept JIRA in a few weeks. But if you go to some conservative business and say, "Hi, let's use a wiki," well, they think that you as a lunatic or crazy. So my answer.
All right. Yep. And here's someone that wanted you to speak a little bit more about what that quote-unquote ad hoc pivot connection was between Excel and MySQL.
Well, basically nothing esoteric. I use Apache and PHP, small PHP script to to convert data from MySQL into XML, HTML, just HTML. And then using in Excel, I used export database using URLs. There's something like this in Excel. So in data menu, you can find it, and then just you drop link, and you get table from the web page. So I use this link basically.
Okay. And someone asked, can JIRA be used for software version management strategies?
Software version management strategy. I think it is a main frame, so basic usage of JIRA from version management, software version management. Yes.
Yeah. And have you you got into a little bit about using JIRA for Agile? Are you familiar with using JIRA with Greenhopper for Agile?
Yes. I tried Greenhopper, but really I didn't find it useful on that stage. So probably later, yes, but now I cannot see now any good use case for it in just for this implementation. Maybe I will see it later.
Okay. And then someone chatted in with an interesting question. They mentioned process tests in JIRA are tested from last year only. And his concern is to know if JIRA can be used to deal with complex projects and teams located across the globe. I thought you did address that a bit, but maybe if you could elaborate a little bit more on that.
Well, can you please repeat the question?
Yeah, he was just saying process testing for JIRA seemed like it was only done last year. I don't know what that's referring to, but just elaborating on using JIRA for people across the globe and managing that process.
Yes. Well, so what I meant is open network for collaboration people of in projects like LinkedIn, but more on Xing or whatever, but more oriented on collaboration and project management. So if I understood the question right, probably the one who asked it probably can write me specifically, because I feel I don't understand exactly what you mean.
Sure. Yeah, and I'll provide your contact details after the questions also. Here was a question. You mentioned training quite a few times, and especially bringing JIRA in and for the non-IT people, trying to get them up to speed, and you would host training sessions for them. Would you find it valuable for Atlassian to facilitate some sort of intro level training program?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, that's good to know. And then JIRA can be used as EAI. Can you give an example? There's a question.
Well, the only probably workable example now is integration. Just an example of what is possible. So probably we can use we can take information from contact or salesman sales department using JIRA and using CRM. If we have another CRM system, we can make a bridge and get information from example, from Salesforce, and take information into JIRA for financial things, for example, and then to send some information and other data into SAP on other systems that require some data. So what I mean by this, it is not quite clear how it will work, but basically any BPMS system can be used as a front end to communicate with different systems and to put data from one system into another through workflow. So if people are in this workflow, then this workflow could be done in JIRA. And using plugins, we can move data from one system to another, rather than sending some links between systems and so on. Is it?
Okay, and there's a follow-up question. Is there any framework to be followed to implement EAI?
I don't understand the question. So, any framework to be followed?
Yeah, sort of any sort of guidelines. If you were to use JIRA for EAI, is there any sort of resources maybe that could help set that up, I guess?
Well, really, I don't change any Java code, honestly. So the framework that I used, that I changed, it's velocity templates. So in JIRA. But I didn't touch Java code by myself, so I don't know if it could be on some platform. So no expertise in this.
Okay. And then here's a question that came in. With the setup that you showed, someone asked, what's the reason for using different projects for different help desk issues rather than creating issues under one project?
Well, just issue as a when we say issue as a project, then we mean that it is not just a task that we can do in one day. For example, it's just something like a project that has some time as a start, end, and we are not quite sure what happens in the result, and so we can. It's a really good question. Where is the boundary between small tasks and projects? But generally, project is something that that involves several people, that has stakeholders or parties that are interested in the project, and where teams is distributed, and they can also create some small tasks, but from the time tracking, for time tracking is not it is not good, because it is not possible to switch between. It is possible, it's very hard to switch between lists of different tasks and find the task that you are working on now, and so, and it was basically the yeah. So reduce the number of items, of instances.
Okay.
Is it enough? Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And then also, I guess a follow-up to that would be, with all those projects, were there ever cross-project linking happening? For instance, how did you use that in reports and charts to show something like a Gantt report for an enterprise project?
Well, for now, with this configuration, I don't use Gantt reports because, the projects that I run in this company now are more or less agile, and they are not very good planet really in Russia. We can plan only few 1 month monthly the best ahead. So I don't use it for Gantt charts, but it is possible to arrange projects so that we can use Gantt charts together with Microsoft project. And there is no any good plugin now, as I know, in JIRA that can show can help you to show Gantt charts. So,
okay. And here's a question chatted in. Maybe you can answer it, maybe not. But have you ever come across plugins or connectors to retrieve data from SAP?
I communicated with developers. It is a Tempo plugin that exchange basically Worklog and time data. But if you're looking for somebody who can arrange an SAP integration, I think you would. They are the best specialists, as I know, in this area. Just JIRA and SAP integration. So Tempo team. They may answer, yeah.
Yeah, and it's always worth a browse on plugins.atlassian.com. And if you have any more questions, you can also just chat or email sales@atlassian.com, and we'll be more than happy to help you find, whatever solution will help you out. So, all right. Well, I think that wraps up all the questions that were chatted in. I have a few more slides here. First of all, Gregory, I wanted to thank you for coming in, and if anyone has questions for me or Atlassian, you could chat me at webinars@atlassian.com. Gregory can be reached at gregory.kneller@gmail.com. And this webinar is being recorded, and I'll post it probably later today on atlassian.com/TV. And one final thing, if you guys are thinking about Atlassian products, if you want to send people to learn more about Atlassian products, or if you're a developer and you want to get more into the developer community, or if you want to just meet a lot of Atlassians at once, please consider coming to Atlassian Summit. Here are the dates and the prices. You can learn more at summit.atlassian.com. And as a side note, you can also come to Summit for free if you submit a speaking submission and your speech is selected. So again, go to summit.atlassian.com. And if you submit your speaking proposal and it's picked, then you'll be able to come to Summit for free. But currently, the early bird pricing is still up until April 15th. So with that, Gregory, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
All right. And until next time, this is Morgan with Atlassian. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.